Alright, Karina baby, for the 17th. Can you believe it? Today is August the 17th. It's almost your papa's birthday. From A Year Full of Stories, we have The Dreamboat. Patrick loved to travel at bedtime. He could go around the world and back again. On Monday, Patrick sat on his dreamboat. Let's go somewhere hot tonight, he said. So they did. Patrick sailed to a tropical island in his dreamboat. It was full of parrots and palm trees. While they were there, Patrick picked a bunch of bananas. On Tuesday, Patrick sat in his dreamboat. Let's go somewhere cold tonight, he said. So first they went to the South Pole and met some penguins playing on the ice. Then they sailed to the North Pole. I'm freezing, said Patrick, snuggling up to a polar bear. On Wednesday, Patrick sat in his dreamboat. Let's go swimming tonight, he said. The dreamboat took Patrick to the ocean. There were catfish and dogfish swimming below the waves. Patrick dived in and bumped into a swordfish. Ouch, he cried, and woke up. On Thursday, Patrick sat in his dreamboat. Let's go to a desert, he said. And off they went. They found a pyramid and Patrick went inside. He saw some mummies standing in a row. Where are the daddies? Asked Patrick. But there was no reply. Oh, he saw the mummies. He was like, where are the daddies? Right? Where are the papas? On Friday, Patrick sat in his dreamboat. Let's go to the jungle, he said. There were tigers and snakes in the jungle. Patrick swung through the trees. I'm Tarzan, he cried. Look at me. On Saturday, Patrick sat in his dreamboat. Let's climb a mountain tonight, he said. There were eagles and wolves on the mountain, and Patrick could see the whole world from the top. On Sunday, Patrick sat in his dreamboat. He could think where to go next. He couldn't think of where to go next. He had been around the world and back again. Patrick yawned and snuggled under the blankets. Tonight, he said, I'll just stay home in bed. Alright, so let's do the Days of the Week song. Look at how cute that story is. So he went everywhere he could think of, right? And then he's like, I'll just stay home in bed. So how do we start our song, right? We start with Sunday, right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? So we got the days of the week. We got Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the T and the H, because Tuesday is just a T, right? T and H. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. These are the days of the week. So where did Patrick go? Let's review. So Patrick went to an island. Patrick went to the poles. Patrick went swimming. Patrick went to the jungle. Patrick went to see the mummies. Patrick went to the mountains. And then Patrick stayed home. And they did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But the song goes Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. These are the days of the week. Alright, baby. And that was The Dreamboat. Let's move on to the world's best fairy tales. Mama likes to read you fairy tales because there's lots of good things in them. The next book is Tom Thumb. In the days of the great King Arthur, there lived a mighty magician called Merlin. Merlin, the most learned and skillful enchanter in the world has ever seen. This famous magician, who could take any form he pleased, was only traveling about as a poor beggar. And being very tired, he stepped at the cottage of a peasant to rest himself, and asked for food. The farmer bade him welcome, and his wife, who was a good-hearted woman, soon brought him some milk and a wooden bowl, and some coarse brown bread on a platter. Merlin was much pleased with the kindness of the peasant and his wife, but he could not help noticing that though everything was neat and comfortable in the cottage, they both seemed to be very unhappy. He therefore asked them why they were so melancholy, and learned that they were miserable because they had no children. The poor woman said, with tears in her eyes, "I should be the happiest creature in all the world if I had a son. Even if he was no bigger than my husband's thumb, I would be satisfied." Merlin was so amused with the idea of a boy no bigger than a man's thumb that he determined to grant the poor woman's wish. Accordingly, in a little while, the peasant woman had a son, who, wonderful to relate, was no bigger than his father's thumb. The Queen of the Fairies, wishing to see the little fellow, came to the window while his mother was sitting up in bed admiring him. The Queen, kissing the child and giving him the name of Tom Thumb, sent for some of the fairies, who dressed her little godson according to her orders. An oak leaf hat he had for his crown, his shirt webbed by spiders spun, his jacket woven of thistle down, his trousers were of feather done, his stockings of apple rind they tie, with eyelash for his mother's eye. With eyelash from his mother's eye. Oh. His shoes were made of mouse's skin, tanned with the downy hair within. Tom never grew any larger than his father's thumb, which was only of ordinary size, but as he got older he became very cunning and full of tricks. When he was old enough to play with the boys and had lost all his own marbles, he would creep into the bags of his playfellows and fill his pockets with theirs. Then, getting out without their noticing him, Tom would again join in the game. One day, however, as he was coming out of a bag of marbles where he had been stealing as usual, the boy to whom it belonged chanced to see him. Ah, my little Tommy," said the boy, "as I have caught you stealing my marbles at last, and you shall be rewarded for your thievish tricks." Oh, saying this, he drew the straight tight around Tom Thumb's neck, and giving the bag such a hearty shake, that poor little Tom's legs, thighs, and body were sadly bruised. He roared out with pain and begged the fellow to let him go, promising never to steal again. A short time afterward, Tom's mother was making a batter pudding, and being very anxious to see how it was made, he climbed up to the edge of the bowl, but his foot slipped, and he plopped head first over heels into the bowl without his mother noticing him. She stirred him into the pudding, and set him into a pot to boil. The batter filled Tom's mouth and prevented him from crying out. But the hot water began to scald him, and he kicked and struggled so much at the pot that his mother thought the pudding was bewitched, and pulling out of the pot, she threw it outside the door. The poor tinker, who was passed by picked up the pudding and, putting it into his knapsack, walked off. As Tom had now got his mouth clear of the batter, he began to cry aloud, which so frightened the tinker that he flung down the pudding and ran away. The pudding broke to pieces in the fall, and Tom crept out. covered all over with the batter, and walked home. His mother, who was very sorry to see his darling in such a woeful state, put him into a teacup, and soon washed off the batter, which she kissed him and put him into bed. Soon after the adventure of the pudding, Tom's mother went to milk her cow in the morning in the meadow, and she took Tom along with her. The wind was very high, and fearing he would be blown away, she tied him to a thistle with a piece of fine thread. The cow soon observed Tom's little oak leaf hat, and liking the prospect of it, took poor Tom, his hat, and the thistle at one mouthful. While the cow was chewing the thistle, Tom was afraid of her great teeth, which threatened to crush him into pieces, and he roared out as loud as he could, "Mother, mother!" "Where are you, Tommy, my dear Tommy?" said his mother. "Here, mother, in the red cow's mouth." His mother began to cry and wring her hands, but the cow, surprised at the odd noise in her throat, opened her mouth and let Tom drop out. Fortunately, his mother caught him in her apron as he was falling, or he might have been dreadfully hurt. She then put Tom inside her blouse and quickly ran home with him. Tom's father made him a whip of a barley straw and drove the cattle with. And having one day gone into the fields, Tom slipped and rolled into a furrow. A raven which was flying past picked him up, flew with him over the sea, and dropped him. A large fish swallowed Tom the moment he fell into the sea. Soon after, the fish was caught and brought for the table of King Arthur. When they opened the fish in order to cook it, everyone was very astonished at finding such a little boy. Tom was quite delighted at being free again. They carried him to the king, who made Tom his dwarf, and he soon became a great favorite at the court. By his tricks and grumbles, he not only amused the king and queen, but the knights of the Round Table as well. It is said that when the king rode out on his horseback, he often took Tom along, and if a shower came, Tom would creep into his majesty's vest pocket and sleep till the rain was over. King Arthur one day asked Tom about his parents, wishing to know if they were as small as he was, and whether they were well off. Tom told the king that his father and mother were as tall as anybody in the court, but that they were in poor circumstances. On hearing this, the king carried Tom to his treasury, where he kept his money, and told him to take as much money. There's the cow. As he could carry to his parents, which made the poor fellow caper with joy. Tom went to procure a purse, which was made out of a water barrel, and King Arthur gave him a large silver piece to put into it. Our little hero had some difficulty in lifting the burden upon his back, but at last he succeeded in getting it placed to his liking. He set forward on his journey. Without meeting with any accident, and after resting himself more than 100 times by the wayside, in 2 days and 2 nights he reached his father's house in safety. Tom had traveled 48 hours with a huge silver piece on his back, and was almost tired to death when his mother ran out to meet him and carried him into the house. But as he soon returned to King Arthur's court, as Tom's clothes had suffered much in the butter pudding and the inside of the fish, his majesty ordered him a new suit of clothes, and announced he would be mounted as a knight on a mouse. Of butterfly wings his shirt was made, his boots of chicken hide, and by the nimble fairy blade, with well learned in the tailor trade, his clothes were supplied. A needle dangled by his side. A darper mouse he used to ride. Thus stuttered Tom in stately pride. It was certainly very diverting to see Tom in this dress, and mounted on a mouse as he rode out hunting with the king and nobility, who were ready to impire the laughter of the sight of Tom and his fine, prestigious charge. The king was so charmed by his manner that he ordered a little chair to be made in order that Tom might sit upon the round table, and a piece of gold a foot high, with a door an inch wide to live in. He gave Tom a coach drawn by 6 small mice. The queen was so enraged at the honors that were being conferred to Sir Thomas that she resolved to ruin him, and told the king that the little knight had been saucy to her. The king sent for Tom in great haste, but being fully aware of the danger of royal anger, Tom crept into an empty snail shell where he lay for a long time, until he was almost starving with hunger. At last he ventured to peep out, and seeing a fine large butterfly on the ground near his hiding place, he got close to it and jumping astride it, he carried up into the air. The butterfly flew with him from the flower to flower, and from tree to tree, and from field to field, when at last returning to the court, where the king and nobility all strove to catch hold of him, the poor Tom finally fell from his seat into a watering pot, in which he was almost drowned. When the queen saw him, she was angry and said he should be beheaded. And so Tom was put into a mouse trap to wait for his execution. However, a cat, observing something alive in the trap, patted it about till the wires broke, and set Thomas to liberty. The king received Tom into his favor once again, but Tom did not live to enjoy it, for a large spider one day attacked him, and although he drew his sword and fought well, the spider poison at last overcame him. He fell dead on the ground where he stood, and the spider sucked every drop of his blood. The king and his whole court were so sorry at the loss of this little favorite that they went into mourning and raised a fine white marble mounted over his grave. Well, the following edifice. Here lies Tom Thumb, King Arthur's knight, who died by a spider's cruel bite. He was well known in Arthur's court, where he affected gallant sport. He rode a tilt and tournament, and on a mouse a hunting went. Alive he filled the court with mirth. His death to sorrow soon give birth. Weep, weep your eyes, and shake your head, and cry, alas, Tom Thumb is dead. Alright, so there's the story of Tom Thumb from this rendition. We've heard other renditions of it before. The next one tomorrow is going to be The Nightingale. Mama wants to go take a shower. Let's do Um, it's cold, maybe. It's getting colder and colder. How about swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Well, I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming forth to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth and carry me home. Well, sometimes I'm up and sometimes I'm down, coming forth to carry me home. But still I feel my soul is heavenly bound, coming forth and carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth and carry me home. Now if you get there before I do, coming forth to carry me home. Tell all my friends I'll be coming there too, coming forth and carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth and carry me home. I'll be coming home, coming home, coming home to you, coming forth to carry me home. You know my word is good, you know my word is true, coming forth and carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth and carry me home. You know that I love you, coming forth to carry me home. You know my word is good, you know my word is true, coming forth and carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth and carry me home. Let's do Lila Tove and good night to you. Lila Tove, may your dreams come true. We sing Lila Tove, may Israel protect you throughout the night until we reach the morning light. Karina, baby, I love you. I love you so incredibly much. It's starting to get cold. Mama's a little cold sitting in her room. It's okay though. I am going to be seeing you eventually. Sooner or later, you're going to be with me, and we're going to be going places and doing things, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I can't wait. I miss you so incredibly much. I miss taking you to story times, and taking you to play dates, and taking you to movies in the park, and taking you to little concerts around town, and just hearing about your day, and hearing about your favorite part of the day, and playing Pass the Story with you, and doing school with you, and reading you books. I miss you. I miss you more than you'd ever imagine. I never, ever, ever wish the amount of hurt and pain Mama goes through on the daily just by missing you to anybody ever in life. And I just want you to be living your life and going through your days and making your days quick. And I just want to get back to you. I just want to get back to you because I love you. Mama's doing everything that she can, okay? I am. I love you and I miss you. I miss you so much. Mama's just trying to keep busy right now and keep the days moving, because I know the more that I keep the days moving right now, the quicker I feel like I'm back to you. And I just want to get back to you. I just want you back. But, like Papa used to always say, honey, Papa's my moon, I'm his sun, and you are quite literally our rainbow baby, and we love, 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 love you more than anything in this entire world. Mama gave up her entire existence to try and protect you. I love you. I love you so much. I love you and I miss you. Can't wait to see you. Have a beautiful day, my baby girl. I love you.